Hey Hoopers, and welcome back. Today we're going to go over a couple more basic off-body moves, including folds, and we're going to start talking about wraps, body wraps, specifically shoulder wraps today. There are a lot of different wraps you can do with the body, but we're just going to start with the basics, shoulder wrap, and some general folds of the hoop. So grabbing your hoops, we've talked about hinges before, right, where we keep a loose grip of the hoop and just sort of let it hinge like a door back and forth around the body. So folds are pretty similar. It's the same motion with your hand, so you want a loose grip, but we're folding the hoop up and back over the arm. So that's where we're gonna start here. Hoop is in your dominant hand, out to the side. Loose grip, we're gonna hinge the hoop up, and then to complete the fold, you hinge it to the back. We've done this before in our half chest roll tutorial. If you haven't checked that out, it's the same sort of motion that we would use to get up to a half chest roll. So again, out to the side, we hinge up and back, forward and down. So you can kind of just play around with this movement for a couple of rounds here on your dominant arm. So now I'm letting the hoop fold forward the whole round. So not only is it coming down to my neutral position, I'm now going to let the hoop fold behind and up and then over to the front. So maybe you can get a good spinning circle here, all the way up and around to both sides. Beautiful. Let's try that in our non-dominant arm. So hoop is out to the side, loose grip, we'll hinge behind and in front. So you'll notice too, I use a little bit of momentum. I'm pushing my arm either forward or back to get the momentum of the hoop going. And this is another really great arm workout. Holding up the hoop at level to create the folding movement. So let's talk about some embellishments that we can make with the fold. We've talked about how we can pass the hoop back and forth. We've done behind the back passes. So this is essentially the same movement, but we're adding in a fold. So we don't have to worry about as much keeping the hoop floor plane or on this horizontal level, but we do want to keep the traveling path of the hoop in this same sort of hip height sphere. So we start with our folds. When we fold around to the back, we can bring the hoop forward across the body, unfold in front, and then around to the back, flipping the hoop just like we were doing off to the side. But now I'm letting the arm travel in front of my body and back out to the side. So this is a really great embellishment as you start to find your hoop flow, your hoop dance, to add in when you just need to like take a breath or think about where your next combo or where your next move is going to go. There are a lot of ways that we can come into other moves from here, including our escalator. Like I said before, we can come to a half chest roll or chest roll breaks. There are limitless variations. So again, trying that with my non-dominant arm. I'm just letting the hoop fold and swinging my arm in front of the body and out to the side. All right, that is a basic fold with a traveling variation. Another fold I'm going to show you today is called a pizza fold. And this is where we hold the hoop on wall plane or vertical plane. Doesn't matter which hand you start with since we're going to be using both. I'm starting here in my left hand, holding the hoop at 12 o'clock. I'm going to bring in my dominant hand now and hold the hoop at 6. I'm going to let go of my top hand and let the hoop fold in front. As I do that, my bottom hand travels up, hoop frames my face. I take my free hand and grip at 6. And let's switch again. I let go of the top, let it fold forward, lift, regrip. Lift and regrip. You know, I don't know if these are technically called pizza folds. I don't know why it's in my head to call them this. But I guess we could call them vertical folds. I'll put that in the description instead. So these, again, just a really fun sort of repetitious movement that you can do between your hoop flow combos to let yourself just take a breath and then figure out where you want to go in your flow from there. They're pretty versatile. I like this one because it kind of keeps the body and the face in frame. Beautiful. All right, so let's move on to shoulder wraps. Now, wrapping is going to use the same fold or hinging technique as we've been practicing, but I'll demo first. We're going to be hinging the hoop forward and hinging the hoop to rest on the top of our shoulder so that the hoop passes across our back, and the natural direction of the hoop will come to your opposite shoulder, and you'll be able to grab and catch on the opposite side. Before I demo, just know that there is a slight little shoulder movement that happens with this, but what I see a lot of the times when people first start to practice this movement is they over embellish the movement of the shoulders. It's very subtle, it's super chill. In my classes, I like to say, think of the chillest person you know, like the chillest surfer, just like so chill, and like how nothing affects them, right? And they're just like shrug it off, but like with the laziest shrug. That's what we're looking for. All right, so shoulder wrap, shoulder, shoulder to the front. I barely move, but there is a tiny little, I think it's an up, down from shoulder to shoulder. So again, hoop comes in front. I'm gonna let it hinge to my shoulder. And you notice it conveniently wraps here at my neck, and the rest of the hoop hinges behind my body. So we can also use this move to come into a backpack, which is where we bring both arms in and catch the hoop at the back. But for all intents and purposes today, we are letting the hoop travel from shoulder to shoulder across our back. And the hoop comes in front. We can finish with an isolation, or there are, again, a variety of other moves you can come into from here. So let's try the non-dominant side. We're gonna let the arm cross the body, hinge at the shoulder, wrap across the back, come to the opposite, and our hand grabs. So the same hand that is starting the movement is generally the one that will catch it. Now, of course, you can bring in the other hand if you're going to a certain transition from there, but generally speaking, it's really convenient to just sort of be able to pass from shoulder to shoulder, same hand to same hand. All right, I hope this helps. Just a quick little lesson for you today, and I will see you next time.